let's just jump right in, shall we? We are talking about Skinwalker Ranch. You know the name. It's this 512-acre patch of desert out in Utah, and for centuries it's had this reputation as, well, one of the most mysterious and, let's be honest, terrifying places on the entire planet. But here's the thing. Recently, the activity there has just exploded. I'm talking investigators reporting a huge spike in weird, anomalous events.
Just listen to that for a second. That is a real account from someone on the ranch in 2026. It's so personal, right? And absolutely chilling. It just perfectly sums up the kind of unsettling stuff investigators are up against. See, this isn't just about spotting weird lights in the sky anymore. It's something much deeper, something almost psychological.
And honestly, that's the whole point of what we're talking about today. For generations, these were just legends, campfire stories. But now, we're in a whole new era. We've got advanced tech, drones, thermal cameras, you name it, and they are capturing what looks like actual evidence of these impossible things happening. For the very first time, seeing might actually be believing.
Okay, so before we get into all the new stuff, we've got to rewind a bit. To really get what's going on now, you have to understand that the events of 2026 didn't just pop up out of nowhere. This place, it has a long and I mean deeply strange history. And this history is absolutely key. It goes way back to ancient times, with local Native American tribes basically saying, stay away from that land, it's cursed. And you jump forward to the 1990s and the Sherman family moves in. For them, it was a total nightmare. We're talking UFOs, cattle mutilations, the works. Then in the 2000s, billionaire Robert Bigelow pours money into a scientific study. They documented all sorts of crazy stuff, but you guessed it, couldn't explain any of it. And that all leads us right up to today, with the current owner, Brandon Fugel, throwing the gates wide open for a full-on, high-tech investigation.
And that investigation, wow, it has turned up some absolutely startling stuff, especially with this huge surge in activity they saw starting in 2025 and really ramping up in 2026. This is the moment the story really shifts from just being a local legend to something backed by, well, hard data.
So yeah, it's the big question, right? With all this expensive, high-tech gear pointed at every inch of the property, what are they actually seeing? What's the evidence they're pulling in? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so what they're capturing pretty much defies physics as we know it. First up, the drones. They're tracking these glowing orbs that are just zipping around, making turns that are physically impossible for any known aircraft. And get this, no heat signature, no wings, no propellers, nothing. Then you've got the thermal cameras. They're picking up these humanoid-looking figures that just appear out of thin air. Sometimes they even seem to change shape right before they blink out of existence. And then there's the really grisly stuff, the physical evidence. Cattle found with these incredibly clean, surgical-like cuts. But there's no blood, and not a single track on the ground anywhere around them. It's just impossible.
So the technology tells one heck of a story, right? But the human side of it, that's a whole other level. Because on top of all that sensor data, you have these absolutely terrifying personal accounts from the team on the ground. People are seeing creatures that walk on two legs, then suddenly sprint on all fours at inhuman speeds. One witness saw a deer stand up on its hind legs and just look at them. And then there are those mimicking voices we talked about at the start. One of the wildest things, multiple reports of drone feeds capturing these tall figures with glowing eyes, just for a second right before the feed cuts out and the tech completely fails.
So, okay, we've got the data, we've got the eyewitness stories. The next logical question is, what in the world is going on? What are the theories trying to explain all this?
But before we dive into the modern theories, you really have to understand the name, Skinwalker. The term itself comes directly from Navajo legend. It's about a kind of harmful witch who has the ability to shapeshift, to turn into or even possess an animal. This ancient belief, it's really the foundation for everything else.
When you boil it down, the explanations really fall into two big camps. On one side, you've got the paranormal and extraterrestrial stuff. This is where you hear theories about interdimensional beings, things from another reality using the ranch like a portal or a doorway. On the other side, you have the more down-to-earth, skeptical explanations. This includes things like maybe it's a secret government testing site for crazy new tech, or it's all just one giant elaborate hoax. Or, maybe it's mass hysteria, just fueled by all the media attention.
But here's the thing, no matter which theory you lean towards, you can't deny this. In 2026, Skinwalker Ranch stopped being a niche, spooky story and became a global phenomenon. So the question is, why now? What changed? Well, for starters, look at this number. The subreddit for Skinwalkers just blew past 500,000 members in 2026. We're not talking about a few people in a forum anymore. This is a massive online community, and they are picking apart every single piece of evidence that comes out. It's a perfect example of just how much public interest has surged.
And it really all came down to a perfect storm of events. First, you had the Pentagon starting to release these UAP reports, and they used some shocking language, like non-human biologics. Think about that, stuff that is not from Earth. And the ranch was reportedly mentioned in some of those official briefings. Then, you've got the History Channel show, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, which just blasted all this new evidence out to a huge mainstream audience. And finally, of course, social media. Leaked footage and witness accounts just went completely viral on TikTok. That hashtag got billions of views. Billions.
So here's the bottom line. Whether you think it's paranormal or government secrets or something we can't even imagine, something is definitely happening at Skinwalker Ranch. The big difference now, in 2026, is that for the first time ever, you have serious science, government acknowledgement, and viral social media all pointing their cameras at the same remote patch of desert. The whole world is finally watching.
And all of that really leads to one final thought, doesn't it? With all this data, all these hours of footage being released, the evidence is out there. You can go look for yourself. So the only real question left is, are you brave enough to watch it?